Pre-algebra math again. So we got 70 lessons. If you want them all, contact me here, PowerPointMathVideo@AOL.com, stating, yes, I want the whole course suite for pre-algebra. And if you want PowerPoints, let me know. If you just want videos, let me know. I can give you videos or animated PowerPoints. And then the lesson sheets, which contain quizzes and tests. And then all the classwork and the homework will be there as well. 6.1, ratios and rates. Here's all of the standards here for this. It covers a lot of different standards here. Too many to mention, actually. Then here's the bell work for your students. Students, do this as you come in the classroom. Or you can just start the lesson off with this. I like to hand out the class worksheet as the students walk into the classroom. This is what they get. So it's bell work. This goes in the student's notebook. They should be keeping a notebook for this course. You wrote equivalent fractions, and we get into an archery problem here. You'll find ratio and unit rates. So it's more quotients here. And then we figure averages here. And then here is a good definition here. Using a ratio, uses division to compare two quantities. There's a nice, concise definition of ratio. Writing ratios. You can write two quantities of A and B, where B is not equal to 0. So here's the way that you can write ratios here. A to B, A to B, A over B. So 3 different ways there. Each ratio is read A to B. This is your classwork, page 3. 2 points. So example 1 in writing ratios. Use the archery. So we're featuring archery here. The number of hits to number of misses. So number of hits, number of misses. So here's our ratio here. Number of misses, number of hits. 3 ways to write the ratio are 11 over 4, 11 to 4, and 11 to 4 here with this full colon here. That's a full colon. So there's different ways of writing that. B, the number of hits to number of shots. So we're going to change our ratio here. So now it's number of hits to the number of shots. We got 60 shots and we got 44 hits. Here's our average of hits. 11 over 15, 11 to 15, 11 full colon to 15. Different ways of writing this quotient here, 11 to 15. Guided practice using the archery info above. Compare the number of misses to number of shots using a ratio. Write the ratio in 3 ways. So here is the number of misses to the number of shots for over 15. Ways to write the ratio: 4 over 15, 4 to 15, or 4 full colon to 15. So for every 15 shots, they're going to miss 4 times. That doesn't seem too bad. Then write the ratio 8 to 5 in 2 other ways. That's easy, class. Easy. Comparing ratios now. To compare ratios, you can write both ratios. This is ratios as fractions or as decimals. 2 decimals are called equivalent ratios when, this is the word when here, when they have the same value. So this is on your classwork, page 5. So just to let you know, this word's when, it didn't come in that well. And this is ratios as fractions or as decimals. So when you're taking notes on your classwork sheet, that's what those are. So we have another example here, comparing and ordering ratios, biology. So bird's wings to the average width of the bird's wings. Get into a zoological issue here. So here's a table here. For different species of birds, we have wing length and average width. So there's a ratio here between the length to the width, kind of a situation. This really determines what kind of flying these different species of birds do. Write each ratio as a fraction, then use a calculator to write each fraction as a decimal. So when you enter a fraction into your calculator, you will get a decimal. Round to the nearest hundredth and compare the decimals. So white-tailed eagle, wing length over wing width, 209 over 30. And when you put that into a calculator, you get this decimal here, approximately 6.97. It might be 6.9. I'm not sure exactly. But these two tildes here mean approximate. European jay, wing length over wing width. Here is our quotient here. And that's approximately 3.92. So you get quite a different ratio here for that wing length to wing width. And then for the black-headed gull, we get a different number here altogether, 10.38. So it's wing length to wing width, black-headed gull. Seems like your big flyers, your long flyers have a larger ratio of wing length to wing width. The jays, they're just kind of local. They're not migratory. And then answer, the gull's aspect ratio 10.38 is the greatest. The eagle's aspect ratio that's what they call aspect ratio of 6.97 is next greatest. The jay is 3.92. So what conclusion do we draw from that? Just like I said, the jay is not a migratory bird. That's why the ratio is so low. You get into bird physiology in this class. Okay, ordered ratios from least to greatest here. Least to greatest of these ratios, and you do the same thing down here. I'd use a number line. I should have included a number line. Go ahead and make a number line. Students, make a number line if you need to. If you're real good, you don't need one, but it makes it easier to visualize it. More of a visual mathematics kind of a thing. And the answer here doesn't use a number line. I would have used a number line. So here's the least to greatest here. And they turn these into decimals here. 0.25, 0.33, 0.27777, 0.35, then 0.36. From least to greatest are 2 over 8. 0.25. 5 to 18 here is 0.27. So they want you to put these in the original form and list them from least to greatest. Now that you've used their decimals to figure out the least to greatest. And then 1 to 3, 7 to 20, and 9 over 25. From least to greatest. Do the same thing here with these. turn these into decimals. And then you should be able to recognize the decimals from least to greatest on that. Okay, here's our homework. 74 points in the homework. For this, you had 6 points of note taking. That should go in your notebook. And when I teach this course, I check notebooks like once a week, usually on Fridays. What is the unit rate? Give an example. So write the ratio 8:5 in 2 other ways. Tell whether the ratio is in simplest form. If it's not in simplest form, then write it in simplest form. Then write the ratio in 2 other ways. So write this in 2 other ways, write that in 2 other ways. You know how to do that by now. Order from least to greatest. Here we go again. Turn them into decimals, class. And then you should recognize least to greatest using decimals. And then we have a word problem here that you probably have to use a table here. If you have to do this on a separate piece of paper, I would. You probably have to use a separate piece of paper for this because there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of numbers. I would use another piece of paper and staple it to your homework. Compare unit prices to determine which decorator paid. So what's the unit price, class? A unit price is whatever per dollar or whatever per penny or something like. Usually it's per dollar is what it is. And then tell whether it's in simplest form. You have to see if these are in simplest form. Then write the ratio in 2 other ways. So write these in 2 other ways. Then tell whether the ratio in more simplest form problems here. Your correction PowerPoint will have the solutions to these. If you want the correction PowerPoint to all of this, contact me at that email and I'll show you how to acquire the correction PowerPoints. And then use a number line or convert all these to decimals. That's what I would do. I convert them to decimals. You can use a calculator to do that. So there it is. Contact me for correction PowerPoints. Make that your specific request. Worksheets, class worksheets, homework sheets. You can either get PowerPoint or video. Contact me here. Thank you very much.